All right, guys, this is the video I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's finally time. Bear with me, I'm shooting 3 videos at once, so it might seem a little scattered, so I'm gonna try and just keep it as concise and short as possible. Now, obviously, since I own a lighting company, I'm gonna have some nice headlights, right? Well, that's what we're doing today. So we have stocks with halogen bulbs, of course. We have all 3 sets of AlphaRex lights that are available for this truck, and Morimoto. These are the only 2 headlight brands I would recommend for this vehicle. Anything else, Spider, Anzo, all that, garbage. Don't even waste your time. These are proven, best warranties. They look by far the best too. All the other ones look super cheap. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'm gonna be showing you different features, how they look, how they perform against this wall. So it'll be good. All right, so here are the 4 sets. I have 3 AlphaRex right here and Morimoto. So if you look at these, and you think, wow, these 2 look the exact same. And you would be right, they do look the exact same, but the Pro version has a halogen bulb in the projector, whereas the Luxx has an LED chip, which you can kind of see right there, the yellow in there. So this is a great entry-level option. You can always upgrade the bulb. We have the option on our website. They take 8/7s. Any AlphaRex headlight takes an 8/7 bulb. These have LED chips. These are not interchangeable. The Nova's 4 LED chips, which you can see right there. And then Morimoto, same thing. You can see right there, actually, the LED chips. These have a DRL, which you'll see. These have a DRL and an activation sequence whenever you unlock and unlock the truck. My truck does not have power locks, so that doesn't really matter to me. They have the same turn signal, sequential, 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 and these are the brightest of these 3, the Novas. They're also the most expensive. Same DRL. And then here, these are the hybrids. So hybrid means it's a XP headlight, but it's got a gloss gray interior and also takes your standard turn signal bulb, which can be upgraded to an LED bulb, no problem. DRL here as well. Looks like the 3rd gens. And they all have the amber side markers because of DOT compliance to be imported. That's what they require. You can always open them up and swap out for clear, which are both available for these, but it does void the warranty. These have a 5-year warranty, and AlphaRex products have a 2-year warranty. So right here is a moto meter, which is basically a Luxx reader. And I'm gonna shine all these lights on this wall right here, and we're gonna get an output change from stocks to each one of these headlights. A lot of manufacturers will say like 10,000 lumens or whatever, but that doesn't matter. What you wanna do is use Luxx because that's the actual usable light that's hitting the road. So what I'm gonna do now before I take apart the truck is I'm gonna get the output reading from these OEM headlights with the standard halogen bulbs. Nothing special about the stock ones. There's tons of options to upgrade these halogen bulbs, which I might do in another video, but for now we're gonna focus on some aftermarket lights. So here is the beam pattern. If it looks slightly high or whatever, just know that my driveway is not perfectly flat, so it is kind of an angle. These aren't gonna be perfectly accurate, but it'll give you an idea. Okay, I got 946 as my maximum. The not fun part of doing a video like this is taking everything apart a million times, but it won't be too bad once I get everything off the first time. I can just keep swapping parts out. So let's get it. First, you gotta remove the grill, which is a couple push tabs right here and some 10 mils. Everything Toyota is basically a 10 mil, so makes it pretty easy. And now whenever you get those 4 off the top, you have another pin right there and right there. And there's tabs all on the bottom right here, but if you pull it straight out, you won't break anything. I have a TRD Pro style grill coming in a couple days. So I'm only gonna show one side because the other side will be the exact same. 2 10 mils on top, right here, and right here. So of course I didn't get it on video, but all I did was, this is sticking through there. All I did was pry right on the tip of it, both hands, and it popped out just like this. So now you're gonna wiggle this very easily away from here. Okay, so now that everything is loose from the headlight, except for this one bolt that I'm about to get, you have to go up through here, which everybody hates for Tacomas, and you know, I get it. So I'm about to show you that, and then we can pull this off and get to swapping out for some nice looking headlights. Make it easy, just take these two off of here. For the fender liner to pull back, you can kind of get your arm in up in there a little bit easier. It's not this black one right here. It's actually right above that. You can't see it from here, but you can definitely feel it. Okay, now with that third one out, you don't have to worry about this falling out because it sits over this little plastic retention pieces. So this is the front thing that holds it in. Just a little like sliding tab. If you want, you can go ahead and unplug your bulb right there. These are always super greasy, so if you don't want to until you pull it out, no problem. All right, so pull forward, lift these up, and then you're gonna push the bottom inward to release that bottom part for that bottom screw that we just had to deal with. And rotate. Be careful not to scratch your lens. There you go. Takes a little bit of finessing that first time you do it, but it's not that bad. So I'm actually gonna leave that OEM headlight in while I swap in the AlphaRex Pro. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's the same method of installing, and all we're gonna do is run a DRL fuse tap. Very simple. And I do have some LED bulbs that we're gonna throw in here, not the ones that I would run personally. I just ran out of those. I just shipped out the last set before I could film this video. No big deal though. I have a few that can just show you the output of an LED. So let's throw it in with the halogen in first, just so you can get an idea of how they would come if you bought them. So for this process, it's never a bad idea to keep that plastic wrap on. Here's the back of the AlphaRex Pros. As you can see, bulb cap right here, well, there's actually a halogen bulb. So, same method of installing, but if you keep that plastic cover on they come with, I have it off just for the video, but if you keep that plastic cover on, it'll help prevent scratches from reinstalling these lights. There's a fuse tap right here, so I'll show you where to go. Now what you'll do is you'll top off these, and you'll see that harness shortly will connect here. This is for the DRL and turn signal, and here is the parking light. So just remove the entire assembly. So this is for your H4, the stock connection, and you'll see how everything plugs up. Very, very simple. Make sure that this entire harness is behind where the headlight would go, so that it does not interfere with your installation. And I'm not gonna install any of these like 100%, especially not that bottom bolt for this video. This is more or less how you receive it, just with the plastic covering over it. Push it in, pull the top back out, and you're home free. Kick that bottom out so it sits properly. Push the plastic tabs back over whenever you've secured it into all the clips. It'll only go one way. So these two that look alike go into each other. You'll hear the click. The stock H4 connector here will go to the 3-prong there. Push together. And then here is the parking light, which will go to the only one that's left. They can only go in one way. You hear the click. Now, all you have left is the DRL wire, which is a little brown wire, which that's when the harness comes into play. And you'll see ground, positive, and an input here like so. Okay, I know that wiring isn't the most fun and a lot of people are intimidated by it, but these companies really do try their best to make this as easy as possible. This looks confusing, but it's not at all. You have two of these, which one's for the driver's side and one's for the passenger side. I'm only gonna be using one because I'm only doing one side with these. And this goes to ground on your battery. This goes to power. And this fuse tap, I'll show you where to take it. Okay, so this is the brown wire, DRL wire, coming off of the AlphaRex headlight. And you're gonna use one of the red wires coming from the harness. So you'll just slip this, one of the reds, over here. You're gonna slide this plastic over it and then slide the big plastic over that. And it'll make a waterproof seal. So that's how it should look whenever you're done. And all that's left is to run to the battery and the fuse. And then we can turn these bad boys on. Okay, next, pull this little cover off and you'll see some fuses here. And there is ignition, which is what we're going to be swapping in. All right, so I just pulled the whole boot back and ran it to the inside. It's pretty dang sealed. I don't think you're ever gonna have an issue with that. This is also just for video purposes, so you might be able to go through here following this cable. Right out the top, you're gonna pull the 15. So this is how it's gonna look when it's in there. And now just give it power. This is for the running lights. Just give it power by hooking to, let's see here. The black can go here to the fender, here, or the battery. But this needs to go to the battery. Here's how they look. They look amazing. Very clean. Looks really good on a dark truck, especially. These will look good, you know, when my truck's done, if I decide to run these. That is the difference between the Pros and the OEM. So obviously DRL looks so good. And there's the beam pattern, which is it's a little high. I'll bring that down. Actually, I'm not gonna bring it down just because it's for the video, but I will take some measurements. Looks so good though. Got a pretty good hot spot, but I don't think it's as bright, I'm gonna be honest. We'll see. Man, they look so good. The flickering is happening on camera, not in person, so nothing to worry about there. There it is with just the running light. God, it looks so good. They really did a good job with this DRL. This looks so simple and clean, just how I like it. And there are the beam patterns. Okay, so I got about 500. That's pretty disappointing that it's not as bright as OEM, but that is easily fixable with a quality LED bulb. And of course, these look so much better than the OEM anyway. We'll do 1261. And about 700. So, yeah, OEM is definitely brighter. I know the beam patterns are way off, but that's not really important for this test. They look amazing. They give you a nice DRL, a gloss black look, but they're not as bright as OEM. They do give you a nice flat cutoff, which I like personally. But we're gonna see how they do with just a regular LED bulb, nothing fancy, not even the best one, because the best one is around 3 times as bright, which of course I don't have that with me right now, but they're on the way. So like I said, H7 is the bulb size. Set that right there, get some LED bulbs, throw them in, see how they do. Here's what happens when you put a really cheap LED in here. Oh Lord. So, there is no beam pattern whatsoever. Like, that's where it should be, but the light's not getting there. And high beam is an absolute disaster. So, make sure you put a good LED in here, because it looks great. Looks really good, but that's not gonna work. A much better LED bulb. Not great, but as you can see, actually has a beam pattern that rises with high beam. So now, let's get that output. Now, I can already tell this is much, much brighter than the standard Pros. Okay, I got 1320 here in this hotspot. Now, technically, your hotspot should be at the top of this beam, okay? Because that's gonna shoot light further down, whereas these, it's gonna be more foreground lighting. But around this area was definitely bright. You really want the actual brightness to be right here. So it's pretty unfortunate these still aren't great, but yeah, I think that with the best bulb that we have, I think it would fill in nicely. It's made more properly. I think this would do really well. So my opinion on the Pro headlights, they look great. They're great, you know, price for a quality aftermarket set, 2-year warranty, and people like having changeable bulbs. Whereas, like, let's just say the Luxx, Nova, or the Morimoto, if they fail, they fail. It has to be replaced via warranty. Whereas if a bulb fails, which the bulb we recommend for this has a lifetime warranty. So anytime you have an issue, boom, we'll send you a new bulb, no problem. It'll be 3-4 times brighter than what came with the actual headlights. So if you want a changeable bulb with the same brightness as an LED projector, definitely recommend the Pros with the GTR Ultra Series H7 bulbs, which will put you around the same price range as the Luxx, actually slightly cheaper, but you'll have a changeable bulb where you don't have to deal with shipping out your headlights once we send you a new set. So that's always an option. That's a good option. Has a very nice beam, as you can tell, but you have to have the proper bulb, which these are not. But the second one was a lot better than the first. I didn't even try the first one because that would have been double-digit Luxx, which would have been literally candles at night. So now, time to swap out the Pros for the Luxx, which look the exact same, but there's already a built-in chip. All right, so this is the exact same installation process for the Pro and the Luxx, so no need to show how that was. Oh, see, I can already tell this is much better. Okay, that's where the hotspot should be. And it's actually aimed. Wow, spot on, perfect. So this should be a lot better. Let's see, high beam. Oh yeah, that's real nice. That is definitely an option for me now. I was gonna do potentially the Pros with an upgraded LED bulb, but I like that. That was good. Okay, nice wide beam pattern. Let's see how she does here. All right, cool. 2700 lux, 3 times brighter than OEM, and the beam is way more consistent. So that's very cool. Very happy about that. Now let me get high beam real quick. Okay, so about the same, still 2700. Just the beam rose a little bit, which kind of surprised. Also, another cool thing is these have the activation sequence whenever you lock and unlock your vehicle. The DRL lights up. Like I said, I don't have power locks, so I can't show you that, but it's a standard feature on the Luxx and the Nova, not the Morimoto. There's not an activation feature, but there's a DRL that lights up. So, just like the Pros. Now it's time for the big boys to go in. A lot of people like this look. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I like a more simple, clean, one projector look. So let's get these out, throw these on, same installation. All right, now time for the AlphaRex Nova's quad LED projector. Same DRL as all the others. Let me hook all this stuff up and we'll go from there. All right, and everything's hooked up. So there we go. A little bit taller. You have the triple projector here. High beam is the last projector, which I'll show you now. These actually don't look as bad as I thought. I didn't know if I was gonna like these. but they're not bad. And what's nice here is that you can't see the individual steps in the projector. I was worried about that. So I see how they do it. Okay, so each projector is kind of aimed a little bit higher, like that. If I run my fingers around it, you'll see how it goes through the shadows. Okay, cool. So this is making this not even seem on, like in person. These are very bright. All right, let's get some measurements now. I think the last one was 2,700. We got 1,300 at the brightest. 2,400 with the high beam. Not bad. But I gotta say, that Luxx output seems to be better. So yeah, these definitely look crazy. Definitely more of a show style than a clean and simple kind of build, but man, they look good. I have been forgetting to show the turn signal like an idiot, but here you go. This is the same for all of them, so no big deal. LED sequential versus the incandescent bulb over here. Yeah, that looks pretty dang good. Gotta admit, obviously, whenever you turn your blinker on, they'll go to amber, and then whenever you turn the blinker off, it'll go back to white. And that's the same for all of them, all the AlphaRex series. Okay, so it's much later in the day, a couple hours, had to do some stuff. Anyway, last one to install are the Morimotos. So to install those, you have to remove this bracket, which sits right here. You cannot get these headlights in, or at least I couldn't, because the high beam is so big, like the high beam area, whereas on everything else, there's a big gap right there. So 10 millimeter, you need a ratcheting wrench because the socket can't get back there. Just pull the bumper off this little tab and work your magic. So now, should be able to get in. Right, that was awful, and I don't even know how I got it in, so that's gonna be a problem getting out. But yeah, finally got it in. Time to hook it all up. All right, here they are. About to turn them on. Not sure how I feel about them on my color. They are a gloss gray. Okay, here they are in low beam mode with the DRL. I actually just used the AlphaRex DRL. I didn't even use the Morimoto one, so that's nice. These are very, very similar, I will say that. So you can't go wrong with either one because the quality is about the same. I did not put in the bulb. I didn't want to unseal it, but it's just, you know, you put your stock bulb in there. So, as you can see, the cutoff is perfect, and this is exactly what you want, the hot spot. I expected this to be the case with Morimoto. And if you put on high beam, very solid high beam, right where you want it. These are easily the widest beam so far. Let's get some Luxx. I got about 1,600 for low beam. With a very consistent beam, it gets lower as you go lower, which is how it should be. You shouldn't have a lot of foreground light, which means it should not be the same brightness all the way through. And for high beam, 4,500, 4,600, 4,700, 4,700. Twice as bright as the AlphaRex high beam. Wow. I knew it was gonna be bright, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bright. So here they are with low and high beam. You can see it kind of mimics the 3rd gen Tacomas, 2016 and up. Wow. And it's just about aimed perfect. I mean, it might be aimed perfect, actually. That's awesome. They claim that they're aimed at factory specs, and I believe it now. So, as you can see, it's so perfect. I mean, this is easily the best beam pattern. Good job, Morimoto. Only thing I would change is, of course, to have a gloss black housing, because gray and silver and black doesn't look good on this vehicle. There's an outside shot with the gloss gray. Okay, so it looks great from the front, but I just can't personally do gray on silver on black. But they look really good. If it were me, I would definitely open these up, paint them gloss black with a clear reflector. That would be the only way I could run these. All right, got her tidied back up for now. So, which one would you pick? The AlphaRex Pro halogen gloss black sequential LED turn signal, white LED DRL. The Luxx, same exact thing except for activation feature with lock and unlock and built-in LEDs already. The Nova quad projector, crazy looking, very nice. Or the Morimoto with the insanely bright high beam, a very solid low beam, a very bright DRL, reuses your stock turn signals, and gloss gray housing. 5-year warranty, 2-year warranty. Pros are $499. The Luxx are $865. This is both in alpha black, and these Novas are $1095. The Morimoto comes in at $917. Novas, I don't know, they weren't as bright as the Luxx, so I'm not sure if something was going on with my meter or not. It should have been the brightest from 20 feet. So I'm not sure what went on there. I might have to do another test. I hope this video was helpful in deciding which headlights you want to run for your truck. If you have any questions, send me an email, DM on Instagram, either my personal page or square1offroad. Happy to help, happy to answer any questions. Most of these lights are always in stock, so you shouldn't really have to wait. Unless, I mean, there's always another shipment coming in, so there's no big deal. It won't be too long of a wait if you have to wait. So yeah, just send me a message, we'll get you hooked up.